Well, hello there, and welcome back to another weekly plan with me in my Hobonichi A6 weekly supplemental. I'm gonna get you zoomed in here. I already pulled out my book out of the planner cover just because things are starting to get a little bit chunky and the cover itself is not like closing properly. So yeah, things are getting a little chunky as we approach almost half a year gone. I don't like that I just said that. I don't know if you guys are the same way, but ooh, kind of scares me a little bit to think that half a year is almost over. I'm gonna be starting with this brown washi tape. I'm trying to figure out exactly how much to cut. And I'm gonna pull out my scissors. Okay. And let's see if I can tear it, if I can get away with tearing it. This week's theme, I'm gonna be going with a brown and pink theme. I haven't really done that. I've been doing a lot of green, a lot of like purple and pink, lots of blue, but I haven't done much brown, and I would really like to do that. So should we have it torn side up or torn side down? I can't even see what I'm doing. Yes, I can. This week is going to be a pretty I can't talk. It's going to be a pretty busy week. We have our demo day. Hopefully I'm still in the shot here. I always forget it's short. Anyway, we have our demo day on Friday, and basically what that means is we're going to be demonstrating what we've been working on these past, well, I guess this past month. I don't know, I've lost track of time, to be honest. And that's not straight. Yeah, so basically it should be perfect. We had a mini kind of version of this already. Was it? Whatever, I'm just gonna leave it. We had a mini version of it where we demonstrated to the product owner what we've been working on, and oh gosh, it was horrible. I can't remember if I already talked about this, but I basically broke my code and had nothing to show him. Everybody else had something, you know, something on the browser for which they could say, this is what I've been working on. Not me. I had a blank screen, which was horrible. And now I've got stuff, and it looks pretty good, and it works pretty well. So you know, I haven't written in the daily pages of my Techo in kind of a long time, so it's kind of obvious that I need to pick up my practice on hand lettering again, because it's just pretty bad. And actually, All right. So yeah, this week is getting kind of busy for me. It is the last week of my class, and I gotta say I'm really excited. I'm excited to get my life back, but I also feel motivated. There's so much to do, and so much I want to get done, not just with my career, but also just around the house. And it's got me a little bit of stress, it's got me a little bit stressed out, but also I know that there is an end to the craziness of spending 10 to 12 hours in front of a computer, but it's coming to an end, and I'm starting to make a mental to-do list, but I really need to be doing a physical to-do list so that I can break it down even more and actually accomplish things. So yeah, I did get started because I was having appointments come up. I did a little bit already of what I typically do when I post these weekly plan with me videos, but I tried to just, do the bare minimum so I could save the rest for the video, but also I needed to know basically what time or the times so I can start writing things down and not double book myself and, stay on task. Especially stay on task in the way that they want us to stay on task. So they want us to do this again. And yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make that real quick. I don't know if you watch the show This Is Us. We're pretty much caught up with it. And last week's episode, oh my goodness. It's so cats in the cradle and sad, especially I don't know, it just was like, oh my God, try not to cry challenge. I lost my dad several years ago, so it was a little bit of a challenge seeing all of these things that, relate to dads. Okay, 9 to 10, job related. Okay, and last week was a challenge. I honestly thought we were going to be having our code talks at 6:30, and they ended up being at all times. There was at 7, there was at 1 or something. I don't know. It was just so inconsistent, and I'm not going to put that in the schedule for this week. So I have an appointment 11:45, so let's say 11:30. I guess it's the first one. I feel like this ink is a little bit wet. Cool. So let's go back to this week before I start highlighting and how I want to proceed. I'm not really keeping track of my hours coded anymore. I didn't even finish that for last week or the previous week, but I do want to start making myself tasks and really trying to stick with them. I've done okay with the schedule that they have set up for us, but I also could be doing better in terms of staying on top of what I need to be doing instead of letting my mind wander. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to be highlighting here, except I do know that when I walk my dog, she's going to get highlighted. This planner is starting to feel kind of funny because of the washi tape. It's I don't know, it's not obvious on camera, but there's like a little hill starting to build. So I may have to stop using washi tape for several weeks so that I can get rid of the hill, unless I change up my schedule and use the washi tape there to try to, you know, fill in that hill, so to speak. We didn't walk Lily. I didn't walk her that day. I don't know if you can hear that, but we have these two baby doves in a nest, kind of like right next to our door. So I think they're learning to fly today because I keep hearing like kind of crashing sounds. And I stepped outside and one of them was outside the nest on the sidewalk, on the walkway up to the door. I'm spacing on what that's called right now. And it saw me and it flew away, but I think it was trying to get back in the nest. I don't know about the other one. The other one was still in the nest. Mom was outside of the nest, and it's so cute. Like, and they got big so fast. I don't even know, like, it's like when you turn up the volume and you can see like the volume bar, you know, go from like 0 to 15 or whatever. It's like that, like somebody's turning up the volume on these doves, on these baby doves. All right, but they are very cute. They were not very cute when they were babies. And they have really weird looking beaks when they're tiny like that. I guess I will highlight when I was actually productive. Okay, there was probably more in the job related category that I didn't mark down, but that is okay. And actually this morning I did kind of start early. Okay. And let's pull out some stickers. Okay, and hopefully this little portion doesn't drive you nuts as I try to pick and choose my stickers. Okay, the first one I'm gonna pick out here is from Nightingale Paper Co., which is my Winston's. I'll put that here. The blues match nicely. Saturday we watched Bridgerton. I think we watched one episode and my husband basically zonked out. So Sunday morning we rewatched that episode and finished watching the rest of the season, which those episodes are not short, so Okay. I did do laundry. I think I did laundry both of these days. Can you see that okay? Yeah. I did sleep in. Is there one that's like lazy? That one's from Paper Bits Co. Oh, I forgot to mention too, the highlighters that I used were both my mild liners. This one is in blue green, which is what I did most of the highlighting. And then for Walk Lily, I did it's smoke blue and the mild liner. Okay, so let's go ahead and use another Winston here. Oh, he's kind of big. Let's put him back and see if we can find something a little smaller. I forgot what I was saying. I got to play a little bit of Animal Crossing last night. Let's go with the blue one. Did a Walmart pickup order. Last night was kind of a busy night. Let's see, what else do we have here? Is there one for sleeping in? Yeah, we watched Bridgerton. I actually really enjoyed this second season. I thought there was some good character development. I also was feeling it a little bit between the main characters, because not to the extent, I don't want to spoil anything, but not to the extent in the show, but I'm going through something similar with my best friend. So I'm just kind of like, just to a much lesser extent, but it still makes me kind of like, ugh, feeling. And there was somebody was talking about being brave, and I really liked her speech. I'm trying to remember if it was one of the sisters that's a new character in this season. But yeah, I thought I wasn't gonna like it as much, to be honest, especially because there are two new characters that were introduced. But I was wrong. No, I actually genuinely enjoyed it. There were a couple episodes where I dozed off because I was just like so tired that I missed a couple of things, but it's kind of easy to yeah, it's kind of easy to not feel super lost, you know what I mean? And I think my husband had actually stayed awake, so he told me I didn't really miss all that much. Ooh, I did some crazy gardening. Let me tell ya, I have a garden bed. It's not very big. Maybe it's 10 feet by 3 feet. So it's not very big. And last year I had marigolds planted toward the end of the season, and they came up no problem. They bloomed, and I just left them in there and they died in the garden, with, you know, everything in there, like all the flowers and stuff. So I just kind of let it go, because once things freeze over, it's kind of like that's it and start fresh. There are some things you could potentially save with the freeze if you're more proactive, but with the marigolds, I knew they were just annuals. Anyway, so I figure they'll come back up if it was meant to be, basically. So, boy, have they come up with a vengeance. I think I pulled out like, I don't even know, I think 100 is an understatement. Marigold sprouts. Like that many marigold sprouts. More, to be honest. I honestly couldn't keep track, but there were just so many. And I've planted other things in that same garden bed, so I had to clear them out because otherwise I think they were gonna choke out the other stuff. Like I have peppers, I have zucchini, onions, potatoes. I have quite a few things planted. I don't even know how my potatoes are doing. I hope they're still alive. But anyway, oh, I think it's under emotions. Yeah, I spent quite some time pulling those out. And I did sleep in. I'm just gonna, sorry for the shakiness of the camera. Say I slept in. Felt so good to sleep in. But I did get home like at 1 in the morning from my friend's little bachelorette party she had at the casino. We did cosmic bingo. It's a lot of fun. We did have a good time for the most part, but it's also we're getting old. And so we were all just kind of being like cranky old ladies. Not really, we were having a good time, but we were just all not used to being up that late. I think we've just kind of let our jobs essentially dictate our schedule, such that, you know, we were like, ugh, it's 10:30, when are they gonna get started? And then there was a little bit of an intermission, and then we're like, okay, let's go, let's hurry up. We were just like, I don't know, or maybe we just didn't want to sit there for too long. It was so busy. I don't think I had done cosmic bingo before. I've done bingo before, but I don't know that I've done cosmic bingo. Anyway, my couple of my friends that had said it was the busiest one they'd ever seen. So yeah, luckily we didn't get like a very good table just because it was kind of far away from where they were calling the numbers, and it's, especially with cosmic bingo, things are loud, there's music playing. It's like the opposite of like regular bingo where everybody's so serious and so quiet and just like shh. People will shush you at bingo if you ever do go. But yeah, so my friends weren't ecstatic about our table, but I was okay with it just because my worry about like COVID, especially being in such a crowded place, you know, we were a little bit, I don't want to say secluded, but we were kind of far from people. So like not far from people, but just not surrounded heavily by a bunch of people. So I did appreciate that aspect of it. We didn't win anything, figures, we never have. Anyway, I feel like I'm talking really fast. We didn't walk Lily in the morning just because we were quite productive. Well, and also because being up late. But I think that's good for this past week. So, do I have any goals for this week? Do you have any goals for this week? I think my goals will be to actually start, I keep talking about it and I keep trying, but really make an effort to use these top bars. I do kind of like how it looks torn up. I could have cut it with my scissors, but I'm glad I didn't. Had the chat with Matt. He's a recruiter, so I need to do some research about what questions he might be asking me. I'm a little bit nervous about that. And I wrote this in my friction pen because I'm trying to see if I can get an earlier appointment. They haven't called me back, so I don't know that I will get an earlier appointment. I'm trying to figure out what else, I guess, as the week goes on. So, since I'm talking about setting myself up for goals, let's go ahead and do that. So today, what time is it? 11:30. You filmed a plan with me, so I will probably edit, if not later today, most likely I will edit tomorrow, which is probably what I did here actually. So let's just go in real quick, and you know what, I'll just use one of these little cuties. I guess I could verify with my upload time or date, but we get the picture, don't we? I am very happy with all of these stickers. Could I decorate some more? Probably. Shall we investigate? Let's see, I have, this is cute. Let's choose Joy. I am so happy with these Dollar Tree photo albums. And did this happen? Or did I have a dream? Sometimes I have dreams and I feel like they're real life. But now I'm like starting to question whether or not it actually happened. And somebody said that they changed it back to $1 from $1.25. Or was that a dream? I am so confused. And I genuinely don't know. Let's see, do we have anything else we want to use to decorate? So anyway, yeah, very happy and highly recommend these little photo albums for stickers. These again are from, well, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but they're from the Happy Planner sticker books. I think it's like the floral watercolor ones, and it's just like a mishmash of ones. But I'm so sniffly, allergies got me crazy. I just kind of cut them up so that they could fit in here, but I love being able to see everything and being able to kind of flip through. I'm not super organized with it, at least not how I would like to be, but nonetheless, I feel better about it. This is gonna tear. Let's cut it up a little bit. Okay. These little scissors, by the way, I got them on Jet Pens. I don't remember what the brand is. I don't think that's the brand, the Stick Kyle. I think that's like the version. But I'm sure if you look up even just that, you could find those scissors if you wanted a pair of compact scissors. Wow, I really got a lot of stuff on my to-do list, right? And I'm just realizing right now I tend to do this a lot, where I come to a difficult moment in my life and what is it? I don't know if it's like ADHD or if it even is anything, but it's just like, oh no, I have to sit down and think and, you know, think about my life. And it's challenges. And I started to do that, and then I moved on to adding more stickers. So I apologize for being, you know, a little bit scattered here. So let me go ahead and do some thinking. Okay, these are my goals for today. I'm going to put in 5 applications. I'm going to make sure that the submit button works now that I've got things kind of working on the back end, that the front end is also communicating. And to add a search bar, possible, I would like to, so that you could kind of type in something and it narrows it down by that particular category, or maybe just do another drop down. I may do that actually. All right, but we'll let future Stephanie think about that. For now, thank you so much for tuning in and watching my scatterbrain plan with me. I hope it was somewhat enjoyable, and I will see you in next week's video. I hope you have a really wonderful week, because I will, as I'm looking forward to getting my life back. Take care. Bye. Okay, so I got an idea right after I turned off the camera, that to try to stick with the schedule that they want us to follow, I'm going to draw lines. 9 to 10, basically to be a visual cue for when I need to switch over to a new task. So I'm just going to do it by drawing lines 10 to 12. (13 to 15). That's right, lunchtime. And then 15 to 16:30. Doing this is confusing my brain. And then 16:30 to 1800. Okay. Hopefully that works out, so then I can, you know, maybe schedule how they want us to schedule our interviews and talks with recruiters. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna maybe stick this somewhere in the middle of the video, but if not, I'll stick it at the end. And if it is at the end, then for real, I will say goodbye.